everyone, so this is 5 fragrant things you didn't know about me. Thank you very much, Vava, Ness, thank you so much for tagging me in this. It's taken me a while because I needed to think about what I can and can't share with you lot, and decided to share one thing that is quite interesting, and the rest of them maybe not exactly interesting, but you might not have known about that. So let's start. Number one, I used to not like fresh fragrances. That's kind of strange, isn't it? I a couple of years ago just was not interested in anything that's fresh and citrusy. Just found it boring. I just did not want to smell fresh stuff. But the last year or so I've just completely changed, completely done a U-turn, and really enjoy fresh fragrances. I still need something more to it than just freshness, and there needs to be something to make it interesting, but I really like fresh fragrances, and I used to not like them, so that's kind of interesting. Fact number 2, I'll tell you how I got into YouTube. So I used to get sent, or I still do actually, I get sent things from boots.com to review, and this was right at the beginning when they started sending me stuff, and they sent me a letter, and they said, if you're willing to do a YouTube video that can be used on the review page, then we'll send you this No. 7 skincare. And I was really dubious. I was like, I don't know if I want to put myself on YouTube. I'm a bit shy. I don't really know what I would do or say. Or, you know, it's easy to write a written review, but I didn't know if I'd be able to do a video. And then I thought, oh, it's free stuff though. So I just said, yes, okay, I'll do it. And the products arrived, and I tried them out, and then I didn't even have a camera, like I didn't have a camera phone, so I got my brother with his video camera to record me, and the videos are still on my channel right at the very beginning. I've left them there, me reviewing No. 7 skincare products, and it's really awkward, and kind of, I felt like it was more like an advert than a review. But anyway, I've left them up, so they're there. That's what got me into YouTube. What kept me going was the fact that people were looking at these videos. I couldn't believe people were actually watching me talking shite about products. And it's kind of addictive when you're like, oh, I've got 3 views, and then, wow, I've got 30 views. And then once you start getting views, it kind of builds you up, and then you feel that you want to go on, you want to put more videos out there and see what kind of feedback you get. So it just developed really from there. Thing number 3, let me think. Yes, I used to be, before I got into fragrances, I was massively into home fragrancing. So like Manny in his video, 5 things about me, same thing, really into candles, stick diffusers. I used to love going to department stores and smelling all their candles, and I had all these lovely diffusers. I didn't have anything really high end, but yeah, I did have Yankee candles, and my favourite actually is, I can't remember what they're called. They've got a smell called Fairy Dust, and I love it. I'll put the name of the company in the description box because I can't remember it. So thing number 4 is, I'm going to tell you the fragrances I was into and the fragrances I was wearing before I fell down that niche rabbit hole. So I used to wear Stella Rose Absolute. I got through bottle after bottle after bottle over quite a long period, and then one point it got discontinued and you couldn't get it anywhere. And then it came back, but it didn't satisfy me the same way, so I think it got reformulated, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Another fragrance that I loved was Clarins Jardins, was it called? Eau de Jardins, I think. Fresh, fruity, citrusy, but long-lasting fragrance that I really enjoyed, and I would still happily wear today. Nice grapefruit note in there. Really lovely. Wore it day and night, even though it's kind of a daytime fresh fragrance. I wore it day and night, and I used to get compliments on it when I wore it. It was really, really nice, so I would still wear that one. And the other one I was wearing a lot of for the last couple of years was Daisy Oh So Fresh. I used to love that. It's a very pretty fresh fragrance, but I smelt it today. It's like, no, I wouldn't wear that now. And my tastes have changed, and there's so much available when you become a niche head that you don't kind of go back to more normal fragrances. But I still really enjoyed wearing Daisy Oh So Fresh. So let's move on then to fragrance thing number 5. My fragrance addiction got me sacked. Yes, fact it did, unfortunately. It was just over 2 years ago. I was working in my local police force's control room, and I'd been there for 10 years. And about a year prior to me getting the sack, I guess, to 6 months, I fell down the rabbit hole of fragrances. And what happens when you become newly addicted to something, you get a new hobby, you tend to put everything, your time and effort into that, you know. And what happened was, I would be at work, but I would, when, you know, I've got 5 or 10 minutes quiet, I would go online and look up fragrances, read fragrance reviews, fragrance blogs, Fragrantica. Then I'd go on eBay, see if I can find the particular fragrance, see if I can get a sample. So I used the work computer for quite a lot of fragrance related clicking. And unfortunately, they came down on me so hard, and I actually lost my job. So I had a mortgage, I had a car loan, I had bills to pay, and I had no job. So my fragrance addiction got me into a whole fucking heap of shit. And I really, really strongly recommend, if your rules at work are don't use a computer for non-work related stuff, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean you're going to get away with it. You know, everyone in the room was doing it, but I was the one that lost my job. So yes, anyway, good news, I've got a really great job that I love now. It was a hard year or so getting back onto my feet. You know, it's tough trying to find a job when when you've had the sack. People aren't necessarily going to entertain you because they think that maybe you're sinister, maybe there's more to the story than you're telling them. So it was a really, really tough time, really tough time. It literally used to make me cry just talking about it. I'm okay now, honestly. No, I love my job now, and in a way it did me a favour because I was stagnating there. And it's, you know, when you're unappreciated at work, and yeah, I think that makes you misbehave, really. And yeah, I was really, really naughty, and I got punished. So yeah, I got the sack because of my fragrance addiction. Anyway, that's it. Oh yes, I've got to tag 2 people. So I would love to tag Beauty Meow. I'd love to hear her 5 fragrant things. And I would also love to tag Ryan Reese Frags because I love his stories anyway. When he talks about his uncle's sweet shop, it just like takes me straight there. Like I can picture it and it sounds amazing. So I'd love, Ryan, for you to give us 5 fragrant things about yourself. That would be awesome. And Beauty Meow too. Cheers everybody, and thank you again to Ness for tagging me. Ness from Vava Couture. Cheers guys.